All right, everyone, kicking off Saturday's strength training. We are going to go supported external rotation. So supported could be one of these cushions. It could be a foam roller or a shirt, a jacket, right? Something that's going to give me a little bit of support. And I'm going to maintain a 90-degree angle with my elbow, all right? I really have to focus on that. I'm going to have the cable beside me. I'm going to bring that all the way in, and I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to make sure I'm not shrugging, right? My shoulders are down. We've always talked about that. I'm trying to go as far as I can without dropping that or moving that. So if you drop your cushion or your support, you know you've pulled it out and we're not letting the rotator cuff do the movement. All right, that's what we're trying to focus on. And then I'm just going to turn around, right? Tuck it in on this side. So my outside arm is the one that's doing the movement. All right, I'm making sure I'm keeping this part of my body still. I'm not moving my arm up and down or, again, dropping that cushion. And that's going to be 3 sets of 15 reps. Now, the alternative to that one, because that's the lightest I had it on the cable, and it was rather heavy. So I see maybe more of the guys, or maybe a little bit if you're a stronger female with some stronger shoulders and they feel good, you could get away with that weight. But these rotator cuff exercises are meant to be light, and it's about getting more of a full range of motion. So the goal is to like really externally rotate as far as possible, not go heavier because you can only go here. So keep that in mind. So the lighter, the better on these. So an alternative on the floor, right? I'm here, I can lay on my side. I've got my cushion. Here's my 90-degree angle. I'm gonna come to my stomach, right? I'm gonna externally rotate. So we've got 3-pounders, right? We can go as light as 3-pounders or a water bottle if needed. But notice my elbow staying the same. I'm not closing it. I'm not opening it, right? Focusing on keeping that the same, that 90-degree angle, no matter where I'm at for the movement. I'm just gonna roll over, right? Use my cushion. Making sure I'm not rotating over, right? Again, all of it's just trying to come from the shoulder, trying to get the biggest range of motion first, right? So that's as far as I can go with the weight, and that's pretty close without the weight as well. So this would be a good challenge for me. And same thing, that would be 3 sets of 15 reps. For our next exercise that you're going to superset with the supported external, now we're doing supported internal rotation for the rotator cuff. So on the other one, the outside arm was grabbing. This version, the inside arm is grabbing. I'm still doing that same cushion, 90-degree angle with the elbow, right? And pulling that in. Right, so then I just come to this side. Again, my inside arm, making sure this is staying down, right, with my lower traps. It might stand a little bit more in front of this one, because then that might give me more of a stretch versus if I was behind here. So this one was standing maybe an inch or 2 more in front. Again, making sure I'm not losing that cushion or whatever support system I have. Now with that internal rotation exercise, our shoulder is stronger in that position, so that weight will probably work for most people, okay? But if it doesn't, right, we can do this one on the floor. So now I still have my cushion. Okay, I'm gonna be laying on my back this time, focusing on keeping a 90-degree angle, right? I'm gonna bring that into my stomach and I'm gonna go out as far as I can, not letting my wrists dangle down till the dumbbells drop. I'm gonna keep it straight or have a little bit more of a curled over grip as I'm doing that movement. I'm gonna go as low as I can. There we go. Come back up. Making sure I'm not dropping that cushion. If I do, I know I need to tuck it in, right, and keep that wedged. So both this version from the floor and the other one I just did up there is going to be 3 sets of 15 reps. Our next couplet of exercises, we're going to start with incline bicep curls. So the lighter the better on these, that's for sure. You're going to get an incline, all right? The higher the incline, the easier it's going to be. The lower the incline, the harder it's going to be. So I recommend higher rather than lower. I'm going to lay back. I'm going to make sure my shoulder blades are tucked into place, okay? I'm going to make sure my core is tight so I'm not getting my shoulders back by arching my back, all right? Both are working together. So I'm not gonna have my hands in quite a hammer curl or palms up, just somewhere kind of in the middle for this one today. Wherever my elbows hang like this naturally, that's where I wanna keep them. Or I can test it down here. This is where I wanna keep them, okay? It's gonna be a big stretch on the biceps and it's gonna be a big stretch on the shoulders. So I'm not concerned with you guys going like challenging and heavy. It's a really big range of motion. So from my shoulders to my elbows, they're staying in the same spot, right? I'm not coming down and moving them and then my shoulders roll forward, okay? Or I'm not pulling my elbows up, right? Because I see this happen, roll forward, pull up. Or they're not even straightening out the arms all the way and it's like one of these, okay? So keeping your shoulder blades back and down, think about opening up your chest, letting those arms lock out at the bottom. Again, staying way lighter than usual because this is coming from a really big stretch from the biceps and the shoulders, okay? That's gonna be 4 sets of 10 reps. Now you're gonna be supersetting the incline bicep curls with our overhead tricep extension machine. So you might have a handle here, you might have a different one, you might have a rope. For today, we're gonna use the easy bar one because I want your palms, when you grab the bar, you're gonna grab it just like this. Okay, so your thumbs kind of go in that groove, you're grabbing in that sloped archway position. All right, I gotta put the carabiner through to hook this up through here. All right, and that would work the same with any other attachments that I would use, all right? So I need to make sure my seat's in a good spot. If it was too low, when I would grab this and pull the cables, it would hit my head, all right? So higher the better on this one, and I need to support my head as well. All right, so we talked about where your hands are gonna go, okay? Don't pull it forward with a wide elbow. All right, get your arms set up. So my core is tight. I'm gonna draw my elbows in. I'm gonna keep that drawn in. And the goal is, same thing, I must keep my shoulders to my elbows in the same spot. This is gonna be a lot more challenging to do versus the incline bicep curl. You're gonna wanna come back here or push the cable, right? See how I just hit my head with the cable, right? You're gonna push the arms down and you're gonna end up moving too far back. So when I'm looking straight ahead, I have my arms in my peripheral vision. Right, so even though I'm looking straight ahead, I can tell, are they rocking back and forth constantly? All right, and that's how I know if I've kept them in the same spot. Because I know you might not know what that feels like yet. Hold on. Okay, so again, right, I'm looking straight ahead, my arms are in my peripheral vision. I'm just lowering them. I kind of have a V with my elbow, like right in through here. So I do want to go past parallel with that one. And I'm always gonna think about hugging my head, not letting my arms go wide. So none of this either, let them go wide. It's gonna be difficult to keep them in and hugged in, but that's what you're focusing on during the movement, and that will help you keep them steady as well. All right, and when I'm done, I just let that go. It is a big stretch on the shoulders back through here with like the rear delts and the lats. So if that doesn't feel good or comfortable, there's an alternative, right? I'm gonna grab a dumbbell, or you can grab a kettlebell, that's fine. I'm gonna grab onto this and I'm gonna do pretty much the same movement. Okay, I can do this seated as well. Same thing, when I come down, I'm looking for that V in my elbow and I'm not letting my arms move from that spot. Okay, I wanna keep them right behind my ears, all right? And also not letting them flare out. We wanna pull them in and make sure we're not shrugging at the same time. So this is also gonna be 4 sets of 10 reps. Our next movement we're gonna go over is seated supine side raises. So your palms are gonna be up, okay? And you're gonna go side raise up like this. Of course, using my lower traps to make sure my shoulders are down so I'm not shrugging up through here. I know it's gonna be hard to keep the palms up and your arms beside you as much as you can. Just try the best you can. Like I said, we have as light as 3 pounds. This is gonna be 4 sets of 12 reps. All right, we're going to be supersetting the palms up side raises with single arm reverse flies with cables. All right, so I want this one roughly the height of my shoulder, right around here. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I want my hand to start at least even with this other shoulder, at least for today. Okay, so when I come back, I'm roughly like right around here. I'm going to come back again. So I don't want to be too close where that's going to clank and I don't have that range of motion. And I'm standing a little bit behind it so the cable's coming straight across. Focusing on not shrugging through here. Keeping everything even so I'm not pulling it down or pulling it up as I'm going through. Okay, and then I just turn around, get behind it a little bit. Same thing. I'm just kind of going even with this arm through here and then pulling that back. Making sure I'm using my lower traps through here to not shrug, right? I want to pull that down as I'm going through this movement. I'm going to think about maybe opening up my chest too to get that back. And this is going to be 4 sets of 12 reps on each arm. Now this is also a little on the heavier side. So there's an alternative on the floor. So I'm going to lay on the floor. All right, my head's even. I don't want to be like this. All right, so my head's even with my arm. I can cradle like this or use a jacket or a cushion if I wanted to. And then my arm is even with my shoulder, so not too low, right? Not too high. It's going to be just like it was over here. So I'm probably good right around here. And remember how I said with the cables, I wanted it to be almost even with this half of the body. So same thing, the floor is going to be my target. Coming up, get close to the floor, tap it, right back up. Again, I have to control where this is going. And your alternative on the floor is going to be the same thing. 4 sets of 12 reps.